Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Wednesday, January 20th, 10:53 a.m. here in the Arizona desert over at bitcoindailyview.com. You can check out, I did a little video and got some links about Janet Yellen talking about cryptocurrencies are a concern in terrorist financing. We broke that down, looked at the Great Reset, some good videos about it, etc. It's a little powerful piece, only a few minutes. I think you might like it. Check it out. And also got some cool recent interviews that are very inspiring there. So, bitcoindailyview.com, check it out. Looking at the crypto market against USD today, pretty darn red. Bitcoin down, Ethereum down. We had a glorious dump this morning. And I don't mean a glorious dump. I mean an inglorious dump, I guess. So, as you can see, against USDT, the market in general is red. We have a couple that are in the green, like H bar is doing pretty well, but in general, I would say we have a Bitcoin apocalypse and an alt apocalypse. Although, look at RAN, it's doing well. So a mix, It's a few outliers that are in the green as far as crypto market against USDT. All right, against BTC, not so bad. We got more green against BTC. Of all things, XRP and DOT are green against it. I have noticed that many things are doing better against Bitcoin. Many alts are than USDT right now. So we'll take a quick look at that as we run through things. All right, volume last 24 hours is 7 billion, not bad. 3.5 billion of that on Binance and 1 billion of that on Coinbase. Good. I'm glad Coinbase is over a billion. We got some volume there. Longs versus shorts on Binance. Longs 41%, shorts 58%, or rounded up to basically 59%. So sentiment is definitely indecisive to short on Binance. Bitcoin dominance today. Quite a Darth Maul doji there. Basically, it continues downward. How many gold coins to buy a Bitcoin today? 18.73. Interesting. Looking at the traditional markets, the S&P 500 got a beautiful little green candle going on today on the daily. Russell 2000, a slight green candle, and the dollar strength index, the Dixie DXY, a slight green candle. So the market opened doing all right today so far. You may have noticed Bitcoin is dumping. If you hadn't, well, you haven't, but most people have. So looking at the weekly here, let's zoom out a bit and look at the weekly. So I'm going to draw a fib here on the candle that we crossed the 200 moving average on when I see this beautiful uptrend starting and up to the all-time high. And now look at this. Really, if you look at a weekly, if you zoom out, not a big deal. We're still well above the 200 moving average. We're still very bullish. The MACD actually is still just hardly positive. I mean, it is technically starting to trend negative, but it's got a lot of open space, big histogram. It's overall positive. But do check this out. We have begun to come down last week and then this week. We are in the red as far as candles. And if you check it out, our 236 fib line, which is a pretty powerful one, is at 32,965. So I really would this week expect to close above that. And if we do, I'm going to call that consolidation. I'm going to call it sideways action. Maybe we'll even see a bump above that. I should say a bounce off of that and some upward movement. If we don't find support there this week or next, well, then we're probably going down. We may all the way to 27,000. There you go. And really the dot 5 is 22,000 and the 618 is 18,383. So I'm not saying we're going to go down that far. These are just levels to look at. If we did get below the 236, well, like I say, then the 382 comes into play. That's 27,000. So who knows what's going to happen? We are losing a little bit of our upwards velocity, but we'll see. I really think it's all about this week. Do we close above the 236? If we do, I'm going to call that just sideways consolidation, and that's natural. And don't be surprised if we wick to this on the weekly and then take off again. So we don't know what's going to happen, basically. Nobody knows. Looking at, and I wanted to mention this, of course. This, of course, the white one is the 200 moving average. This is the 21 EMA. Now, the 21 weekly EMA, historically on the weekly, the 21 EMA on the weekly, I guess you would say. So the weekly, 21 EMA has always been a very powerful indicator. When we're above it, we're bullish. When we're below it, we are bearish. And as you can see, we're well above it. And we've pulled away from it for quite a ways. So, we just don't know right now if we're going to be sideways consolidation or if we're going to, retrace to further fib levels. The weekly is a good way to take a look at that big picture and see where we are at. You can always, follow the wicks. If that's a big time frame, you don't want to, use it. Look at the wicks. It covers everything. Daily, powerful. Check this out. We are staying above the 25 EMA on the daily. So we have gotten below it. We've been teasing it. See, we're so far from the 200 moving average, the white one, that we're very healthy. We're good to go. But a tighter one, the 21 EMA, well, we're flirting with it right now, and we just went below it. So let's see. I really want to close above that today or tomorrow. We want to keep above that. And right now it's right at about 35,725. So 35,725. 35,725. Yeah, 35,725. If we get a nice close above, 36,000, then good to go. We can get above this. We want to wick to it. We're going to bounce off it. We don't want to go below 21 EMA. If we do, then you start having to look at this weekly chart. Then you have to start making different plans. Are we sideways? What's going on? I don't want to sound dire. Just this is a moment to really, really, really be watching. The daily MACD is negative and is only trending further negative. Now, let's look at the 3-day. All right. The 3-day, okay, we've had a mix of green and red recently. Last 3 days. Well, this 3-day started on the 19th, 20th, and 21st, so tomorrow this closes. So, we'll see. It looks like here on the 3-day that we are, consolidating, and there's your 21 EMA. We're well above it. We're looking good, but the MACD even there on the 3-day is getting negative. So negative trending MACD on the 3-day, negative trending MACD on the daily, and even really on the weekly. So let's just see what happens. We'll watch these big fib levels and see where we end up as this week closes. And of course, today on the daily or tomorrow, let's get above this 21 daily EMA at about 37,000. That would be glorious. We shall see what's going to happen. People are doing this a lot, and I appreciate it. And I like it. This is blissful. I don't want to give anybody crap. But one thing I'm seeing a little bit too much of, just for my own comfort, is everybody who keeps, doing this stuff. It's true, but just I would only recommend taking a step out, like looking at the weekly. Take a step out and just go, wait a second. Maybe it's not a wedge. Maybe it's just sideways motion. What if we, what if this happens, it's not necessarily going to play by those rules. In general, yeah, most of the time it breaks above or below, but just don't hard code this in your consciousness so intensely, okay? Yeah, this could be a bull flag if you want to look at it that way. If we kind of manipulate the chart a little bit, sorry about that. If we manipulate the chart a little bit, you could also see a bull flag. So, I do all of these things too. Just be careful with these shapes. Because realize that, big money sees these too. If you want to make money trading, a suggestion that a mentor made to me was do something a bit different than everyone else does. And if you're watching these patterns, well, you're also watching the patterns that the whales are watching, and it's a good way to get wrecked when you go long or short, okay? So just expand the mind, Bitcoin Truth Seeker. With that said, look at the 2-hour chart where I'm doing exactly what I said not to. I have a wedge here. Kind of a bull flag if you look at it, if you want to see it that way. Well, bull flag would be trending down, but it doesn't really matter. Call it a pennant, whatever. I get lost in how many different shapes and sizes there are. So basically, this fib line drawn when we cross the 200 moving average on the 2-hour chart, when things got really healthy, this 2-hour has really, 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 really been fitting very, very well. And this wedge pattern, which I just warned against, is actually fitting very well. We just broke below it. Now, here's the thing. Sure, some people probably started shorting. Well, look at that. If you look at this, they all got wrecked probably, I would guess, looking at the volatility that you're seeing here. Well, where are we heading? The 382, okay, which is 33,000. And if you also look here back at the weekly, the 236 there is 32,900. So really, 33,000 is a powerful spot to look for. You want to stay above, and also on this daily chart, you want to stay above 3,600. So 3,300, 3,600. We're kind of ranging in there. Great if we can close above in the daily or any of these charts, 3,600, but also a big player, like here in the 2-hour chart, where you see this beautiful 10K range we've been doing. We've been narrowing down. We just broke below it. So, and that 382 would be 33,000. So 33,000 is one to watch. If we can get back above 36,000, even better, especially if we can get above 36,500, which is the 236 fib here. We can get above that, that would be glorious. We definitely have previous, if I fire up the BPVR, at these points here, we definitely have a lot of previous support via buy-sell volume, especially where we're at right now. Definitely have a nice spike of buy-sell volume right around where we're at now, which is like 34,900 or 35,000. So we're definitely building a. You could almost actually fact, I would make a line here. I'm going to clone this and say we actually really have, even though it's not a fib line, we definitely have previous support and resistance right here. This is in play, and volume, buy sell volume would support that. So let's see if we bounce off this 33,000 fib level of .382, and let's also see if we stay above 33,000 or 32,900, which is the weekly fib. So let's just see if we can get above 36,000. That's going to be wonderful. That will get us above even more important fib levels like the .236, which comes in at 36,500 on the 2-hour chart. So, boom. Let's see what we can do. On a good note, with the fib, we had a low and we had an all-time high, and now we can kind of gauge this range in between. We have more of an idea what Bitcoin's going to do. Of course, it doesn't care what we think or what charts say or what reality is. It's going to do what it's going to do. I believe this is my 45-minute chart. I'm going to do something here. Let me remove this fib line here. This is a top-down fib. I'll leave it. So top-down fib from all-time high to our dump and now you can see this will be 50% retrace right here at the .5. So you can see we're a little bit below that, and we're building support and resistance there and buy sell volume in the chart. So we're really right around 34,000, 35,000. We definitely are building a support zone there for previous buy sell resistance for sure, volume, and then of course the chart's supporting that too. So all about staying above 33,000 once again, because here's the thing, this top down, the 236, since it's top down, 33,000 is where we're trying to wick to. So it does appear that let's see how this goes. We definitely have a little bit of buy sell volume there, but more where we're at, and this is like a magnetic attraction. So I would say right now in this short time frame, that 45-minute time frame, we have more buy sell volume, magnetic attraction of that pulling us towards 35,000 than we do down to 32. So we shall see, but watch these fib lines. If we can get above this 382 at 34,800, great. If we go lower to the 33,000. .236, well, that's definitely going to probably play a possible bounce point once again. And a lot of these you can see, like here, this is on the weekly, the 236 from bottom to top is right there at 33,000 also. So, fib and buy sell volume previously, different time frames definitely support 33,000 being a good spot to bounce. But if we can get above 37,000, if we can get a close there, that would pull us out of this this flirtation with the 21 EMA on the daily. Okay, so that said, let's look at Ethereum versus USD up top, Ethereum versus BTC at the bottom. This is an interesting thing. There you go. They both look kind of the same. Ethereum is doing well. It's kind of mimicking what Bitcoin is doing. I am so interested in an Ethereum versus Bitcoin trade. I think right now, looking at this, the indicators are slightly indecisive, but kind of good. I have a feeling that Ethereum might recover quicker than BTC, and it might be a play, might be a good way to get some extra Bitcoin sats if you so desire. With that said, of course, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor or a life coach. I'm just talking crap here in my garage. So anyway, let's look at the 45-minute on these real quick to get a little bit more of an idea for immediate price action for Ethereum. So, versus USD, it bounced off the 200 moving average on the 45. We'll see if it continues that momentum. The Madrid ribbons here, the EMAs, they were all red. Now they have recently switched green. We did wick to the 200 moving average, like I said a couple of times. That's a good thing. Against Bitcoin, it's been even stronger, doing quite well, but the indicators don't quite show a great buy zone. All right, 45-minute chart for Polkadot against USDT. We're above the 200 moving average again. That's really, really wonderful. We did go below it, but against Bitcoin, we're faring even better. We just hardly bounced off of it, and we're moving back up. And the Super Guppy indicator, or I should say Madrid ribbons, which are over there, Bitcoin Daily View. You can search for, just look for Madrid indicator. It's there. And we're back on the uptrend, all green. Good play. We see some things doing better against Bitcoin than USDT as far as alts go. ADA, ADA, Cardano, everybody loves it. Against USDT, just breaking back above that 200 moving average. It kind of visited almost the 314. Looking at the versus Bitcoin, is that it stayed above the 200 moving average. It never even wicked down to the 200 moving average. It stayed above it, of course, like I just said. And the Madrid ribbons, the EMAs are all green again. So things are gaining against Bitcoin pretty darn fast. You would think Ethereum would lead the way, but it's a little weak in my opinion, at least this morning. Let's see if that velocity increases up. Uni Everybody loves it. Against USDT, slight dump, did what Bitcoin did. It's moving back into the green right now. And against Bitcoin, it's looking just wonderful also. Good chart. These oscillators are beginning to trend down a little bit. Be careful with this trade, even though it's moving up right now. Link being powerful, it's just right now challenging the 200 moving average on both USDT and against Bitcoin. If it gets back above, looking at the other indicators here, I really would like to see some green bars in the directional index, but other than that, everything is in a pretty good spot to re-enter. So Link strong after the dump. All right, Algorand. Everybody loves it. I like it at least. It broke below the 200 moving average recently, wicked to the 314. Now it's moving towards to challenge the 200 EMA once again. The 200 moving average once again. If we look at it, and that's against USDT. If we look at it against Bitcoin, it never went that low, never even touched 200 moving average, and it's basically sideways. So we shall see how these indicators look, if it will let me see them. Oh no, there we go. Indicators are pretty darn weak. I think Algorand is going to basically just go sideways and figure out what it's going to do. YFI, everyone likes it. Broke below the 200 moving average, broke below the 314 moving average against USDT. It's kind of a loser right now. I'd stay away from that one. But against Bitcoin, it did creep below the 200 moving average, but now it's challenging it once again. How the indicators look, not very powerful. So, with that said, it's an interesting day in the market. It's kind of a kick in the ass day. I hope you're doing well. I just to tell you, because I'm just talking to myself out loud here in the garage, what I really am watching for is I'd love to see some velocity, some green directional index bars, and everything else kind of looks about right as far as the indicators go for a possible further move up. I think that especially as alts begin to recover, and we can see alts didn't take the same hit against BTC as they did against USD. So as this market recovers, we're seeing ETH in the green. Other alts are definitely outperforming it against Bitcoin this morning, like XRP is up for almost 4%, DOT is up 4%, ADA is up 1%. So Link's up 3%. So Ethereum, wake your ass up. I would love to see this play. I'd love to get along on Ethereum and Bitcoin. And now you know my plans if they all come together. Not financial advice, entertainment purposes only. As always, this is Bitcoin Daily View. I am glad you are here for the peaceful revolution. It makes a difference. It truly matters. Bitcoin Daily View. If you go there, check out this little video I did last night. I was kind of tired. Hope I was still presentable. But I think this is a powerful thing to look at and consider the Great Reset and yelling about Bitcoin FUD and all that crap and what their plans are and how you can basically protect yourself. I can tell you right now, Mark Moss, very, very smart fellow, says, hey, great way to protect yourself against these characters like this one and like this one here is buy Bitcoin. Take care, everybody. Not financial advice, of course.